Hello and welcome to today's video. This is going to be my most anticipated releases of 2025 part 2, and in part 2 we'll go from the start of July to the end of December, though I don't actually think we have any in December. There are 19 books that I'm going to be including in this video. There were originally 20, but one of them, when I did my research into making sure I got them all in order of publication, I found it actually would push back to 2026. Unfortunately there's 19, which is not such a nice number, but oh well. And yeah, all of these books are books that I'm really excited for. The majority of them are ones that is like once they come out, like I will be doing anything I can to pick them up and read them. There are 4 books in this video that I would still personally call anticipated releases, but I don't necessarily expect to get them so quickly, just because they're in series that I'm really excited about and I'm actively reading, but I'm not actually caught up to the series yet. But I still wanted to include them here because I'm sure there's loads of people who are caught up and these will be exciting releases for. So that is the plan. I'm going to go through all of these and I'm going to go through them in publication date to the best of my ability. I'm based in the UK. Sometimes publication dates vary depending on where you are. So where I've got my information from is UK sources. I've used Goodreads, I've used Amazon, and I've used authors' Instagram accounts or websites where I can. Some of these books I still don't have an exact date for, but there is an obvious month they're being released. Anything I'm not confident in, I'll mention. But yeah, that is the very basics of it. The majority of these are fantasy based, fantasy or fantasy romance. We do have a few contemporary books and we do have a few non-fiction as well. So let's get into it. The first book coming out on the 8th of July is City of Smoke and Brimstone. This is the 4th book in the House of the Devil series. I'm hoping to finish book 2 soonish, and I'm very excited to keep going. I've heard many good things that this series just continues to keep getting better and better, and I'm so interested in the story with where it's at that I can't wait to continue reading more. This is a very urban fantasy series. Like it's not set in the real world, but it feels like the real world. There's lots of different magical elements and magical beings, and it's just a really fun one. And it's a very fun, it's definitely got like a romance as its main plot. Like I'd say it's romance is, at least in book 1, the romance side of things was heavier than the plot side of things, but it did kind of catch up by the end of it to have a very decent fun plot as well. And yeah, I can't wait for book 4 to come out. Then just a couple of weeks later, on July 17th, we have the Enchanted Greenhouse. Now this is technically Spell Shop number 2. I'm not confident if this is a series that you have to read in order or if it's more of like interconnected standalones. From what I know about this book, we are following a character that was mentioned in book 1, but it's a completely different place, a completely different island, and a completely different story. I don't know that there's any crossover, and I don't think I'll personally know that until I've read it. I will say it is marked on Goodreads as number 2, so I think that means that you should read it as a series. Like you should read the Spell Shop first. I can definitely update on that once I've read it. There is only one review from like a person I follow, and they have described it as a delightful companion to the Spell Shop. So that makes me think it's like you're probably going to get more out of it if you've read the Spell Shop, but maybe you don't have to. So we'll wait and see, but I'm very excited about it. This is a different island with different things going on. And from what I know, this is just an island absolutely full of greenhouses and plants everywhere, and we do already know that this person likes plants, and that's something that they like because they are the creator of Kaz, the sentient spider plant from book 1. So very excited to see where it goes and excited to see another island in this magical world. Then, also on the 17th of July, so coming out the exact same day, is Human Rites. This is the 3rd book in Her Majesty's Royal Coven series, and I'm very excited about this. I believe it is also the final book, and I cannot wait to see how this concludes. From the start of this series, we've had like prophecies and people and this big friendship group we've been following, and it really does feel after the events of book 2 that this book is going to be like the culmination of everything coming together. I have no idea how it's going to come together, what it's going to be like, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely heartbreaking, to be quite honest. This is set in like our world. The Her Majesty's Royal Coven is HMRC. In the UK, HMRC is our tax office, but in this one it's like presented to the normal people, like the humans, as the tax office, but really it is how witches are in the government and how they hide witch activity from the world at large, which is Just so fun. Book 1, amazing, 5 stars. Book 2, amazing, 5 stars. There was also a prequel book of this, which, I mean, it wasn't 100% clear if you needed to read it. I did read it, and I gave it 4 stars. It was a bit of an older setting. It was all about Anne Boleyn, which was kind of like the origin story of HMRC itself. But yeah, the fact that we've had so many amazing ratings of this series, I am so excited to give it a go. I love me some witches. I absolutely love all the representation in this book and how like normal a world this feels whilst also having so much magic in it. Yeah, it's great, and I can't wait. And I think I'm probably going to wait for the audiobook to come out because Nicola Coughlan narrates all of them, and even though it's just her narrating it, it feels like a full cast audio because of all the different accents and voices that she does. And I've absolutely loved the audios. But yeah, this is one that I've pre-ordered, so I will be getting it on release day. Then, also on the same day, maybe, fingers crossed, I've had this book pre-ordered for like a year and a half now and it's not come out. It just keeps getting pushed back and back and back. And the book is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which is in the same world as An Irregular Witches, A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, that's what it's called. Which is a book that I really enjoyed when I read it, but I did not read that. Like, well, I think I read it the year it came out, so that would have been 2022. And this was set to come out right after. So it just keeps getting pushed back. I'm hoping that means it's going to be absolutely amazing and there will be like no errors and it's just getting pushed back because like more editing was needed and the story needed to be perfect, and hopefully it works in the book's favour. But I do also feel, because of how much it's been pushed back, it has also heightened my expectations of this book because I'm like, it's got to be amazing. Like, there's all this extra time around it, surely it's going to be amazing. So yeah, I really hope that it is. Fingers crossed that it is. I don't know much about this one, but I know that it's the same world, like based in the UK, and I think she's taking over an inn from her great aunt, but there's someone else there who's like the grumpy person who is also somehow taking over that inn, and maybe they've got to work together or something. That'll be where like the little fluffy romance comes in. But the main thing I know about this one, which made me very excited, because in the first one we had a dog, but in this one we've got a wolf. She's got a wolf companion, so I'm very excited to see how that works. Then on the 24th of July, so moving another week into July now, we've got Speak Still. This is a non-fiction book that is part of the 404 Inkling series, which is a series of non-fiction that I absolutely love. It'll be a very niche, small topic written about in basically like a long essay format, around 100 pages. Worked absolutely amazing with every single book that I've read. I think all of them have got either 5 stars or 4 stars from me. Like, they've been absolutely amazing. None of them I've even considered giving lower than that. So really excited about this one. And this one is like, the subtitle of it is Articulating the Silence of Bilingualism. It really sounds like it's going to be like more of like a very interesting conversational piece about speaking multiple languages and feeling like estranged from language, or feeling like a different like flow through of language. And I'm really excited to read it and see what it has to say. What I really love about these 404 Inklings books is they tend to have a mixture of like personal but also facts and figures kind of involved as well, so it's very much like backed what they're personally feeling. They like back it up, and I'm hoping this is the same. They're all by different authors, so I guess I can't guarantee that, but it sounds absolutely amazing. The author themselves for this book has personal narrative and cultural criticism, bilingual experience in Hong Kong and the UK as a point of departure, and reflects on the meaning of language, selfhood and belonging. So very interesting, and I think it is one that I will pick up and devour because I do think it's going to be a topic I find so interesting. I also really like that these books have so many references, so when you're done with the book there's so many things that I normally end up tabbing in these books. It's like, read this as well, or watch this for more, or whatever. I think they're really good. And then another one on the 24th of July. July's got a lot of releases in, definitely more than any of the other months. But also on the 24th we've got Pucking Strong, which is the 4th book in the Jacksonville Ray series. This is a hockey romance series, but I feel like compared to other hockey romance series that I've read, this one is very like queer inclusive. Like, the majority of the relationships in these books, I believe, have had at least some queer element, and it feels very inclusive and very nice, and just like even more how like you normally get in these romance series where it is a series and you're going to be reading multiple about like a set of characters. The friendship group in that always feels so cute and connected and so like lovely. Like it is just this massive friendship group, and the niceness of picking up the next book is getting to see it from like a different person in that friendship group's perspective. That just feels even stronger in these books than it has in a lot of the different series I've read like this. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where book 4 goes. In this one we are following Teddy, who I think there's a bit of a time jump in this, because I think as we know him, he's still an intern at the Jacksonville Rays, but it's been 6 years since then. And then we're also following Henrik, who is one of the players on the Rays, and it is their story, and I think it's going to be absolutely lovely. It does feel like it might be a slightly like unrequited love slow burn thing, which will be very different than what we've seen in this series. Normally our characters are quite forward and quite vocal about how they're feeling, so I do think this one could be a little bit different. Then the final release that I've got down for July that I'm excited about and I'm anticipating and I cannot wait to read is Wrath of the Dragons. This is the second book in the Fear the Flames series, and this is coming out on the 29th of July. So yeah, Fear the Flames was a book that I read last year and it was amazing, and I read it quite a while after it came out thinking I wouldn't have to wait too long for the next book, but I still have. I've still had to wait quite a while for this. It's been well over 6 months. So yeah, this is the second book. It's gonna pick up straight where the last one left off, which was with a lot of political manoeuvring, a relationship that you're still not quite sure what's going on with, and dragons. Dragons. And I've heard that this book has considerably more dragon content than book 1, so I'm very excited to continue on with the series. Honestly, there's not really much else I can say because spoilers, it's the second book. But yeah, I'm excited and I can't wait. I'm very intrigued to see where the story in this one goes, just because I feel like it's not really 100% clear the direction that we're going to go in with these books. And main characters, definitely things that she could do, things that she could strive for if she wanted, but it hasn't really seemed like she wants, so I'm not sure what the end goal of this is going to be. So yeah, excited to learn more. Then the first and actually only book that I've got wrote down for August comes out on the 5th of August, and that is The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. This is again one I'm super excited about, but one I actually don't know if I'll get to straight away. I'm hoping to still get to it before the end of the year, but I'm not up to date on this series. This is book 4 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, and I'm yet to read book 3. I own book 3, I brought it a couple of months ago, so it is now owned physical TBR, so I will be getting to it at some point soon, hopefully. But yeah, this is book 4. I personally am not even going to read the synopsis for this because obviously I don't want to risk spoiling myself in the process, as I haven't read book 3 yet. But the Crowns of Nyaxia series is going to be 6 books long in total, but it's 3 duologies, so books 1 and 2 are following one couple, books 3 and 4 are going to be following another. I don't even know anything about it right now, and I'm going to keep it that way, but all of these books will be linked down below if you want more information or want to read the synopsis or any of that. So yeah, that's our book for August. Then the first September release that I am super excited for is actually quite a niche one, so I won't spend too long on it. But coming out on the 16th of September is a book called Wild Folk People by Beans on Toast. Beans on Toast is a musical artist that I really like. He's in like, you know, top, if I was to rate artists, he'd definitely be up there. And I really love his songs. He's released 2 books already and I've read them, they're amazing. And this is his first book that he is releasing. This one's a bit different to the other 2. The first 2 were more kind of memoir based. They were very much about his life and little stories from throughout his life and his career, whereas this one I believe is more written about other people. Like it's his experiences with other people or things that he knows about other people who have like inspired his music or inspired his songs, or just like people that he considers really good friends who are also like in the industry. I think it's going to be an interesting read. I'm hoping I enjoy it. Like the kind of like industry isn't something I really care about. Like it's very much, if I don't know about the person, I probably wouldn't read like a memoir or something by them. So I'm not 100% sure that this one will work as good for me as the other 2 of his books. But the other 2 books got like full 5 stars. They're amazing, perfection, I wouldn't change anything about them. So really hoping that this one is the same. So yeah, that's the first book for September. Then just a few days later on September 18th, the release of Uncharmed is coming. Uncharmed is the second book in the Rewitched series. Again, not one I'm sure if you need to read in order, if it's more of like an interconnected series of standalones. Really not sure on that right now. But it is in the same magical world of Rewitched, definitely like taking place in a similar place. And there is only one little line for this, so I'm just going to read it. All it says is, Annie Wildwood is practically perfect in every which way. Her life is a haze of pink magic and impossibly high standards, but when she is tasked with mentoring a troubled teenage witch with extraordinary powers, Annie's charmed existence is quickly thrown into utter chaos. I think it's going to be fun. I think I'm going to have a good time. I really enjoyed the writing in Rewitched. I thought it was a really amazing book, and it was a debut as well, and this is now the second book, and yeah, I am really excited about it. I gave Rewitched 5 stars. I'm just looking now and it looks like I gave it 5 stars, so yeah, very high hopes for Uncharmed. It seems like it's going to be similar but have very different characters. I'm excited for it. Then a few days later, on September 23rd, we have A Steeping of Blood, which is the second book in the Blood and Tea series. I'm not actually sure if this is going to be a duology or if it is going to be longer. Yeah, a duology. It says the epic conclusion. I read the first book in this series last year, I believe, A Tempest of Tea, and I thought it was really good. It's a YA book where it's like young adult fantasy, but it had vampires in it. And how I guess I've always described the first book in the series is we're mainly following our main character Arthie, who runs a tea shop, which is like a tea shop that people go and drink in the day. And then we very quickly see in like the first chapter, I think it is of book 1, somewhere very close to the front, that over night time they basically like change everything. Like tables get pushed down, seats come out, and it serves blood to the vampire population. And like that's kind of like, it's not really the story is more heist based, to be fair, in book 1, but it kind of gives you an idea of the vibes. It's very, I mean, other people have described it as like vampires mixed with Peaky Blinders. I've never seen it. I've never seen, so I don't know how true that is, but that's how it's been described by other people. But yeah, really enjoyed book 1. Want to see where book 2 goes. And I'm also very excited for the story to conclude. It's quite nice when it is a duology and you get to finish the story. Like you really get to like know the world in book 1, and then in book 2 everything comes together. I find that very satisfying. Then just 2 days later, a very excited, very anticipated read comes out. I've actually pre-ordered this twice, once for myself and once for my mum. Is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club. So on the 25th of September, The Impossible Fortune comes out. This, once again, will be following our 4 main characters. We've got Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron and Ibrahim, and I assume will once again have a mystery to follow and something to solve. When Elizabeth meets a wedding guest who's in trouble, kidnap and death are hot on their heels once more. I'm not going to read any more because it is the 5th book in a series, but they are very self-contained mysteries. But you get to learn more and more about the characters and everyone, and it is so lovely. I absolutely love these characters. And when is this coming out? September. Okay, so the movie of book 1 will actually be out before this. That comes out in August, so yeah, very exciting. I can't wait to continue on with this series. I just think they're so much fun, and every single book you just absolutely fall in love with the characters. They are absolutely lovely, elderly characters. If you've never heard of this before, basically like they're living in a very posh, very affluent retirement home based in the UK. And these 4 characters who meet up every Thursday in the Jigsaw room, and they're just called the Thursday Murder Club, and essentially like they bring in cold cases and try to solve them. And then one day a murder happens right on their doorstep, like literally like outside of where they live, a murder happens, and they decide, you know what, we've been doing all these cold cases, we should get involved in this murder in real time too. So they definitely make friends-ish with a couple of the police, and they do a lot of detective work themselves, and they are older characters and do get away with a hell of a lot more just by being a little bit cheeky, and it's so much fun. I've absolutely loved every single book in this series. Very, very excited for the 5th book to come out. I don't know if it will be the final one or if there is more coming, because they are such isolated books. I don't think there's necessarily a known end to this series or how long it's going to be. I will keep reading them as long as they keep coming out. Then next is the book that I actually think I'm least likely to get to this year, and that's just because I'm really not caught up with the series yet. I've only read the first 2 books of this series and the 6th book comes out this year, so that is Mockingbird Court, which is the 6th book in the Shady Hollow series, and that is set to come out on the 7th of October. I'm very, very excited. Again, this is like a mystery series, definitely like mystery, cozy, but all our characters in this are animals, and we get to follow the animals as they solve whatever mystery or sometimes murder is going on in this little town of Shady Hollow where all of the animals live. It's absolutely lovely. I've really enjoyed the first 2 books of this series, and I really like the characters, and it feels like in each book we get to learn a little bit more about each of the characters. I don't know if it's the case for every book, but so far we've been following Vera Vixen, who is a reporter but also kind of like amateur sleuth who wants to solve and figure out what's going on in her town, and they've been really, really fun. A lot of the times they're set up in a way where you do kind of know what's going on. Like, I don't know if they've continued being marketed this way, but at least book 1 in the series was definitely marketed as a middle grade book. Could definitely be enjoyed by all. Like, I read it, and book 1 my partner read as well, and we both thoroughly enjoyed it. Both thought it was such a lovely, fun time. So yeah, one I'm really excited about, but I've got 3 more books to read before I can pick this one up. I think my chances of catching up this year is quite slow. Like, it's not likely, but hopefully I can catch up next year. So if any more come out, again, I don't know if this could be the last one, but it's again a series that I will keep reading as long as they are coming out. Yeah, hopefully I'd be caught up if any come out next year, but I think it might be a bit much to think I'll catch up by the end of this year. Then our other non-fiction book is another 404 Inklings, and this is coming out on, I believe, October 16th. Can't be 100% confident in this. It's definitely publishing in October, and the closer you get to the date, they actually reveal what date it will come out. Basically, these are funded through Kickstarter, so we have pre-ordered some of them. I think this is one of them that we've pre-ordered. We couldn't justify pre-ordering all of them at the time. I'm pretty sure the Kickstarter happened in the run-up to Christmas, so it was just not feasible for us, but we pre-ordered some of them and supported the Kickstarter. I think we did 4. I think there's 8 coming out and we pre-ordered 4. So they estimate it will be October 2025. I think a kind of like tentative date that's been given in emails if you supported the Kickstarter is the 16th of October. Don't quote me on that. It's not on my email address. My partner did it on his email address. So not 100% confident, but that is the date I've got wrote down for this one. So it definitely came from somewhere. I'm assuming an email, and I wrote it down, but on their official website it still just says October 2025. And this is essentially about technology, but I think it's kind of a positive twist on it. I think it's how like technology can like help to actually like make people aware of like the climate disaster and the ecological crisis that we're in, and I think it really focuses on, based on the last sentence of the synopsis, I think it focuses a lot on technologies that eliminate emissions and restore nature have the power to define tomorrow's world. So yeah, one that I think will be really interesting, because I think it can be very understandable, like definitely, you know, kind of like the more common look at and like a very understandable why people write it this way is you normally find more things about like technology being bad and negative, and I definitely mostly feel that way, but I definitely think it's amazing how we can like get our own news sources and we're not relying on whatever bullshit like a TV company's pumping out. Like we can do our own research and follow people from all around the world and get like real information. And so I do see like the positives of technology in that way, and I'm very interested to learn about what this book will say about what technology can do. Obviously things like electronic cars and solar panels are a thing, and they're like considered good or like at least better for the environment and what's happening to the world. But I'm really excited to see where this book goes and to learn more, to be honest, which is what I absolutely love about these 404 Inklings books, is just having like 100 pages to really learn about a little topic, but also coming out of it with so much more I want to read or watch to be able to learn more, and yeah, can't wait. Then on the 28th of October, so very much later on in the month, is The Wrath of the Fallen, and this is the 4th book in the Gods and Monsters series. I'm very, very excited about this. I've not yet read book 3, but it is on, like, in my bookshelves upstairs where my TBR is. There is one shelf that I keep, which is like priority, like try to fit this in as soon as you can, and it is on that priority shelf, so I feel like I'll definitely get to book 3 before the end of the year, hopefully book 4 as well. But yeah, this is a very fun, definitely like romantasy heavy series, and it's just been really interesting so far. A lot of magical creatures that we follow in that we don't see very often. Obviously, I'm not going to read the synopsis of this one either because I haven't read book 3 yet. I don't want to spoil myself, and obviously if you're watching you might not be caught up either, so I'm not going to read synopses for books and series. What I can tell you is that this book starts with the Book of Azrael, and that one we very much get to know our 2 main characters who are like the love interests, and we also have like this plot, this thing that we need to find, this thing that we need to do, and it is definitely considered enemies to lovers in book 1, but I would say that dissipates quite quickly. They do just become lovers, and it's really, really fun. I don't really know much else to say. There are so many levels to this. There are literally gods and monsters, and they are very opposing forces. I feel like we've explored the god side of things much more than we've explored the monster side of things. I'm hoping we get to learn a little bit more about that side coming up in, well, book 3, but if not in book 3 then book 4. And honestly, I don't think I want to say anything more because I am worried about spoiling this. There is so much going on with it, so I'm once again just going to leave it as that. But yeah, this is kind of urban, but not always. Like, a lot of the settings in this book are urban, but we do move around a lot. This series is really special to me because this is the first series that I loved so much when reading that I set up like specialty reading spreads. Like, I've always had my reading journal and I've like wrote stuff down, but this one I was printing out pictures, I was like making stuff for it, I was like properly like getting involved when I read that first book in this series. So definitely changed how I do my reading spreads in my journal and stuff like that, and yeah, I have a lot of fond memories for this series and I cannot wait to keep reading it. Then on November 30th we have Brigands and Breadknives. This is the 2nd book in the Legends and Artes series. Like, it is book 2 of the series, but it is the 3rd book to come out because the 2nd book that came out was a prequel. So yeah, this is like the 2nd book in order of like timeline, but it's the 3rd book to be published, and I have a lot of theories about this one. Okay, so first theory is we already know that we follow in Fern, who is a character we meet in the prequel book, and we know that Fern in this book is going to where Viv lives in Legends and Artes, the 1st book. So we still follow Viv in the prequel, but it is a prequel of her life, and Fern is a big character in that book. So Fern is going to where Viv now lives. But then based on the cover, which will be on the screen, there is a character on the cover, and I've not heard this spoken about anywhere, so please, 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 if you have any information, let me know. But there is a character on the cover that I'm actually going to zoom in on so you can see better. In fact, I'm going to sit in the middle. So there's a character on the cover, which is zoomed in here, and there is a very short, very, very short, I think maybe like 30 pages, if that, short story that Travis Baldry came out with. It was like a bit of like a murder mystery, like short story, this book, and I really feel like the character zoom in here is the character we follow in this book for many, many reasons. 1, obviously it's a different style but they look the same. 2, the coat that the character is wearing, loads of pockets everywhere. And 3, the character's holding cutlery, which I won't say anything more about, but just if you've read this one, you'll know why I think that. But I haven't heard this spoken about anywhere, so I don't know if it's true. The synopsis of this does not say anything about this character. All we've got is, so yeah, I'm not going to read the synopsis just in case it spoils anything. I don't think it would, because we are following a different character at a different time. But just in case it spoils anything, I'm not going to read the full synopsis. But the last part of the synopsis is: a drunken and desperate knight sees the Ratkin waking far from home in the company of a legendary warrior surviving on inertia. Don't know who that will be. But then it also says an imprisoned chaos goblin with a fondness for silverware and an absolutely thumping hangover. So yeah, I'm really, really interested because I think this is not only a character from the prequel and getting on the way or seeing Viv where she is in book 1, But I also think this is bringing in a character from a book that up until now we did not know was connected to this series. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up because I feel like I've spoken about this one for ages and I haven't really told you much. It's a cozy fantasy. Cozy fantasies always are, you know, we'll have some problems but they're gonna get solved in sweet, wonderful ways. I don't think this will happen in this one, but just as an example, we're on a mission, there's a big dragon up ahead. Oh no, like there's this massive dragon, we're gonna have to fight it, we're gonna get past it. Oh my gosh, there's this big thing. We get up to the dragon says, hello, like, how are you? And the dragon's nice and friendly. It's that sort of thing. It's cozy, like there is a problem, but it's always solved in a lovely, sweet way. And honestly, I cannot wait for this. I am hoping, fingers crossed, that the Broken Binding do a matching edition of this, because I own the other 2 books in the Broken Binding special editions. Honestly, the only special editions I've ever purchased, not from like just a bookshop that is doing like a special sprayed edge or something, because of how much I love these books. So very hopeful that we get a matching edition for this book, because the cover that I've been putting on screen is the cover that the Broken Binding would use for their special edition, but also the American cover. In the UK we actually get this cover, so very different and would completely not match what I've got, so fingers crossed. But yeah, those are my theories for this book. Then on the 18th of November we have Brimstone coming out. Yeah, Brimstone coming out. I'm really excited for this. I really enjoyed Quicksilver. I thought it was a really good book. I picked it up, I don't even know when honestly, but I picked it up from a bookshop and started reading it, and that was all I read till I finished it. So I really did enjoy it. I don't think it was like the best ever, but it was so much fun. It was like a fantasy romance. I'm not convinced on the romance. I don't know. It is marketed as a fantasy romance, but it's marketed as romancy, but yeah. And it was fun. There was a lot going on and it was a lot of fun. And I liked our main character that we were following. Let's just be honest here. I was really excited about the second book until the covers got revealed. The wonderful, amazing, pretty cover that I have for book 1 in this series is just discontinued. They're just not printing it anymore. Book 1's cover completely has changed to one that matches with this now, and this is the cover, and honestly not a fan. If I saw it in a bookshop, like, I wouldn't pick it up. Obviously it's the second book in a series that I've already enjoyed book 1 of, but like the new cover of book 1, if I saw it in a bookshop I wouldn't pick it up. Like, these covers aren't interesting, they don't call to me, they don't tell me anything, I don't think they're nice. Like, they're not bad, like this is fine, like no disrespect to anyone who made this or anything. It just doesn't suit the story at all, I don't think. I don't really know what the prompt was that was given. I don't know how much information it was that was given to create this new cover, but I just don't feel like the story is represented here at all. I'm just not really a fan. I'm sure I'll read it at some point. I might get it from the library, to be honest, and only buy it if I like it. I'm really hoping that there'll be some amazing Etsy creator who comes out with a matching edition to the dust jacket I've got for book 1, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, my camera is now flashing, so let's try and do this quickly. On the 25th of November we have Dawn of Chaos and Fury, which is the 4th book in the Legacy series. This is a... I always say I'm going to get better at describing this series and then never do it. In the series we have Legacy, we have Fae. The Legacy very much control the Fae. We are following the main character who is Fae. We do get more and more perspectives as we go along. I would say the very basics of this is it's a dark fantasy. There is a romance subplot, but it is very dark. Like, it's not like a nice romance alongside a dark fantasy. The romance is also very dark. We do start following other things and other things. Basically, if you're interested in this book and you don't know what I'm on about and you haven't read the Legacy series, read the Lady of Darkness series first, because once you know about this, everything makes sense in this. I feel like I'm not good at giving a synopsis for this because a lot of the information I have in my brain comes from learning about it in the Lady of Darkness series, which if you're picking up the Legacy series first, which you can do, the author said like you can do it, like it might spoil a few little things from Lady of Darkness, but you can do it. A lot of the information I'm aware of and I know, like, isn't revealed or isn't known for a long time in this series, so I'm never sure what to say about it. But yeah, I'm extremely excited. Lady of Darkness is my favourite series of all time, and this is the final book in like the first of many series connected to that series. Honestly, I don't think it's going to overtake Lady of Darkness. Like, that was just such an amazing series for me and came at such a perfect time. But I have really thoroughly enjoyed every book in the Legacy series so far. Books 1, 2 and 3 were all immediate 5 stars. Like, was I annoyed at book 3? Yeah, but because I cared so much. Like, it wasn't a bad annoyed, it was I cared so much. So yeah, can't wait for book 4 to come out, and that will be on the 25th of November. Okay, and then our final book is probably coming out in 2025. I am theorising, I haven't seen this confirmed anywhere, but basically this is Heartstopper Volume 6, which is the 6th book in the Heartstopper series, following Nick and Charlie's They Fall in Love. The reason this has to come out in 2025, in my opinion, is there's a movie being made to finish off the Heartstopper story that it was adapted TV, and the movie is based off of Volume 6, and the movie is set to come out, everywhere online says it's coming out in spring 2026. In no way do I think they can put the movie out before this book comes out, or even at the same time. I just don't think it'd work. I don't think it'd be good marketing. I don't think it would like work well for them. This book has to come out first. So in my mind, it has to come out in 2025. And like, I mean, last year it was confirmed that it was coming out in 2024. Like it was written down, there's a publication date given of 2024. It got pushed back and there's just no new publication date given, but they can't push it back more than a year, surely. Surely this is coming out in 2025. Maybe that's just hopeful thinking, but there you go, that is the final book. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that these are some anticipated releases and you are excited about them. If there are any anticipated releases that you're anticipating that I did not mention here and you think I should be aware of them because I could like them, please do let me know down below. Please do give this video a like if you liked it, subscribe down below for more content like this, and hopefully I will see you next time. Also, hopefully, I've cut out all of the drilling, all of the sawing and all of the power tools from this because someone on my street is doing like some sort of major renovation. I don't know, I can't see it. I've looked out my window so many times, but they've continued all day. I've left this till the last possible moment to record this, even though it is a sweltering day, and they've just continued on. So hopefully I've put that out enough. And I got very annoyed about it at points, so I guess I'll put in those bloopers at the end. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Bye. And from what I know, this is an island just full of greenhouses and plants. Then on the 20th... But... Then... But it is in the same, and